So Joshua Buatsi has hooked up with a new trainer, Virgil Hunter. He says he first met Virgil Hunter when he was on the undercard of the first Anthony Joshua-Andy Ruiz fight in New York. And they had a chat, and Joshua Buatsi says that he told Hunter then that he'll come out and do some work with him one day. And the plan was to just go out there, do some bits and pieces with Virgil Hunter in the gym, and then come back to the UK. But it seems he now wants to make Virgil Hunter a permanent fixture in his training team. Now, I think this is an interesting move for him to get Virgil Hunter on board. I have to assume he's going to base his training, or a lot of his training, in the United States, because Virgil Hunter is an old guy. He's had some health issues in the past few years. And obviously there's a lot of restrictions going on at the moment. So I can't imagine that Virgil Hunter is going to want to be traveling to the UK back and forth. He did do some work with Tony Yoka. I'm not sure if he's still working with Tony Yoka, but he was traveling to France, at least for Tony Yoka's fights. But as I say, I can't imagine he'll want to do this too often. So I suspect it's going to be Joshua Buatsi going over there to the US to base his training camps over in the States. So whenever I'm looking at a fighter teaming up with a trainer, I don't just look at the style that the fighter has and compare it to the style that the trainer teaches or the style that some of that trainer's other fighters have. I also look at the character, the personality of the fighter and the trainer to see if they're compatible in that way. Now, with Virgil Hunter, as Joshua Buatsi describes in this interview, he's a very calm individual. He comes across calm, he speaks clearly, and so on. And Joshua Buatsi is the same. He's also a very calm individual. Now, Buatsi has a mean streak in him. He's spiteful in the ring, but his demeanor generally is relaxed and calm. And that is conducive to becoming a very good fighter when you've got the mean streak, but you've also got the calmness in you. This is very good. Therefore, he's not someone that needs an injection of meanness like Joseph Parker I've been talking about recently. Buatsi's not like that. He's got the meanness in him, but he's also got that calmness. Calm and calculated, but also mean at the same time. I think that'll work very well with Virgil Hunter from a personality point of view, because Andre Ward was similar to that. Even though Andre Ward wasn't the puncher that Joshua Buatsi is, he was still mean. You know, Andre Ward wasn't some fancy Dan. Yeah, he was a technical fighter and a thinking fighter, but he was also mean in there. He couldn't have beaten people like Sergey Kovalev otherwise. It was his meanness. So I think that personality-wise, these guys are going to work well together. And from a technical perspective, Joshua Buatsi was a good amateur and he was in the Olympics and what have you. But you can definitely see where Virgil Hunter could add to his game, particularly when it comes to fighting on the inside, to using lateral movement, moving around the ring in some instances, because it's not like you need to fight the same way every fight, of course. You tailor your style to your opponent if you have the tools and the dimensions to be able to do so, which Joshua Buatsi does. He's about 6'2", so he's a good height for a light heavyweight. He's a good puncher. He seems pretty tough from what we've seen so far. So he has the potential to be able to fight a multitude of different styles on the inside, on the outside, on the back foot, on the front foot, in the middle of the ring. And yeah, I think Virgil Hunter, if he spends enough time with Joshua Buatsi, could be very good for him. But at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. We need to see the results in the ring. We need to see how Buatsi adapts Virgil Hunter's style, because Virgil Hunter does have a specific style. When you look at particularly Tony Yoka, he fights so much like Andre Ward, it's not even funny, right? He even has Andre Ward's hairstyle. I'm not sure if he still does actually, but for a while he had Andre Ward's hairstyle. He was wearing Andre Ward style boxing trunks, and it just tried to make himself into a supersized version of Andre Ward. I'm not sure how well that's going to translate, to be honest with you, to the heavyweight division. But in the light heavyweight division, it's tried and tested. And that's what Joshua Buatsi is going to be looking to do is, well, not necessarily fight just like Andre Ward, but incorporate some of the things Andre Ward does, because Ward, of course, got all that from Virgil Hunter, incorporate some of that into his style. So we'll see how it works. Hopefully he can get some good results with it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this news, Joshua Buatsi linking up with Virgil Hunter. The one caveat I'll add to this is the time difference between the United States and the UK. Some people deal with jet lag much better than others. Me personally, I'm somebody that's traveled a lot, and I tend to deal with jet lag very badly. Jet lag absolutely wipes me out. With other people, they adjust to things like that very quickly. So hopefully it isn't an issue for Joshua Buatsi, particularly if he's doing training camps out in the States, then has to come back to the UK and readjust, get his body clock back. Hopefully that doesn't mess him up, because sure used to mess me up. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Indeed, big up Simon Dolan every time. Catch you on the next one. I'm out.